the world is faced with some serious questions, matters of life and death. So it's best we leave those questions to the individuals who are much more intelligent and much more qualified to answer. The scientists and mathematicians, the scholars and politicians. Okay, maybe not the politicians. But for those nagging questions that you've always wondered about, things like, why do dogs tilt their head when you talk to them? How come a boxing ring is shaped like a square? And why are potato chips sometimes green? Well, you're in the right place, because those are the kind of questions we love to answer. Welcome to the podcast.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for joining us. We start with something that the average person reportedly does 70,000 times over the course of their life, and that is sneeze. Now, sneezes come in all forms, from the dainty sneeze to the batten down the hatches we're about to blow the doors off the barn sneeze. But no matter the type, have you always wondered why people say, God bless you, when someone sneezes?
Bless you.
It happens all the time, even amongst complete strangers. How did that custom ever get started? There are a few theories. One is that the heart actually stops beating whenever you sneeze. So,
bless you.
is sort of like a...
Hey there, buddy. Welcome back.
But many studies, including one done by the Cleveland Clinic, have disproven this theory. So that one doesn't really pass the sneeze test. Back in the Middle Ages, some people believed that when you sneezed, your soul temporarily left your body. So by saying,
God bless you,
it helps prevent evil spirits from entering your body in your soul's absence. Gee, that kind of sounds like the plot to The Exorcist. But maybe the most chilling theory dates to the 14th century. That's when the bubonic plague, also known as Black Death, swept through Europe. The death toll was staggering. Some estimates as high as 200 million deaths. So saying,
God bless you,
was a prayer for health and well-being during desperate times. It's certainly possible that something so earth-shattering as the bubonic plague has since become ingrained in our collective psyche, and the custom lives on today. By the way, in America, in addition to
God bless you,
people also utter Gesundheit when someone sneezes. That's German for health.
Gesundheit.
So why would a German phrase catch on in this country as compared to any other language? Well, maybe it's because so much of German culture has been absorbed into the U.S. From Christmas trees to pretzels to hamburgers to kindergarten, we can trace it all back to Germany, including
Gesundheit.
Oh, and one final observation. A sneeze seems to be the only bodily noise that we react to politely. I mean, if I cough or sniffle in public, people don't bless me, they just look on in disgust. Of course, people look at me with disgust even when I don't cough or sniffle, but I digress.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Americans have had a love affair with cars, well, ever since machines were put on four wheels. And during that time, there have been some pretty amazing advancements and options for the auto buyer. Things like seat belts, airbags, collision warnings, air conditioning, even self-driving vehicles, all designed to make driving safer and more enjoyable. But there also have been some really weird options offered throughout the years. And if you've always wondered what's the strangest automobile feature, well, here's our nomination. In 1956, long before Bluetooth, MP3 players, CD players, cassette and 8-track players, the Chrysler Corporation introduced the Highway Hi-Fi. Put simply, it was a turntable for the car.
I'm sorry, what?
I kid you not. Now, the thought of a tone arm trying to smoothly glide across a vinyl disc while driving down a pothole-lined street is enough to make you say,
what in the Sam Hill were they thinking?
Top secret during the years of its development, another great Chrysler first, the brand new Chrysler fully automatic Highway Hi-Fi. High-fidelity car phonograph.
But it gets even stranger. While the Highway Hi-Fi played 7-inch discs, they weren't your standard 45 RPM records. Instead, it only played specifically produced discs from Columbia Records utilizing material from their catalog. Titles included Tchaikovsky, Percy Faith, and even selections from Disney's Davy Crockett. No Elvis, no Sinatra, no Johnny Cash, or anything else that was on the charts at that time.
No scratch, no jarring, smooth, high-fidelity tone on 16 2/3 RPM records.
Well, the truth is, skipping was a problem. They tried to offset that by shock mounting the player, but it didn't really solve the issue. Plus, the tone arm was much heavier than on a standard turntable, again in order to help prevent skipping. But all that did was grind the stylus deeper into the vinyl grooves, wearing out the records that much faster.
Each record will play for a full hour of
Continuous music.
and the price tag is low.
Well, that's subjective. It was actually $200, equivalent to a couple grand today. That price, plus the high warranty costs, led Chrysler to shelving the idea 3 years later. And the Highway Hi-Fi went highway bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, if you know of an even stranger piece of add-on equipment, we'd love to hear from you and share it in a future podcast. In the meantime, let's pop in another disc to our Highway Hi-Fi player. And, oh, jeez. Never mind.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
In our last episode, we explored the origin of the phrase, the whole 9 yards. Well, now it's time to look at another phrase that's kind of a kissing cousin to that, very similar in nature. So if you've always wondered where the term whole ball of wax comes from, let's take a look. Picture a full moon in the night sky. Okay, this has nothing to do with werewolves. But when it comes to the lunar cycle, and the moon appears to be growing in size, it's said to be waxing. So conceivably, a full moon could be considered a big ball in the sky that is completely waxed. In other words, a whole ball of wax. Look, I don't make this stuff up, I just report it, okay? But the most common explanation is this one. In Old England, going back to the 17th century, there was a legal text that discussed allocating inherited land among siblings. Scraps of paper were rolled into wax balls. Each scrap of paper designated a portion of land. So the heirs then blindly grabbed their lot, then unwrapped their inheritance contained in the whole ball of wax. Kind of weird, but it sounds a little more plausible than the whole moon is a ball of wax in the sky theory. But maybe there's something more. And of course, as always, if you have thoughts, we welcome your input. In fact, we'll take everything you got. Whether it's the whole ball of wax, the whole shebang, the whole enchilada, the whole shooting match.
The whole kit and caboodle?
Yeah, that one too.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We hope you learned a little something. So we'll leave you with one to ponder. Have you always wondered why Rhode Island is called an island when it's not actually an island?
You just blew my mind.
Hey, just doing our job. And we'll keep doing it till we get it right. I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for listening.
The Always Wondered podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and a review. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you pod. Feel free to offer suggestions for future topics or simply reach out to alwayswonderedpodcast@gmail.com.